Hello guys, it is Rada. Welcome to my channel. I wish to introduce to you today about Cascaded Dropdown Multi-Select lists using PartialViews, dynamic link, lambda expression, and jQuery. As I am used to, I will start by the end of a project. If that satisfies your need, you can proceed and go further. If not, then skip it. Here I have I've made a .NET Core project using Core 3.1. As you see here, I have made a list that contains the categories I want, category 1, 2, 3. If I choose, for example, 2 categories, and then go to the second combo, then this is alert shown that I choose 1 and 3, and then it will display subcategories of category 1 and subcategories of category 3. Here it starts sub 1. This is concerned of category 1, and sub 3 concerns category 3. If that satisfies your need, we can proceed further. Let us start from the beginning. I will make a brief about the project because I will not go to details through each part. Database used is linked to the project by the end of the video. It is called all sample code. Here I have category and subcategory, master details. Category contains code and category name. Subcategory linked with category contains subcategory ID, its name, and the link of category ID. When we make scaffolding and make the model, it will generate category class and subcategory class. Here it is category class related to the subcategory. Also, I have in the project the layout, which contains my index that contains the view and partial views for the first list and the second, and the tag helper for the second, and the partial view for the second is called from the controller. At the beginning also I want to notify that the bootstraps used, CSS and JavaScript, are, as you can see here, jQuery, JavaScript, and bootstrap bundle.min, and CSS bootstrap. This is written in the layout, but about the index, I use bootstrap multi-select. So we should put bootstrap multi-select after the jQuery and bootstrap.min, whether CSS or JavaScript. The start of a project calls the index found in the appsetting.json. Here I will make F5. It will go to the controller of the index. This is the start, where contains a category list, new list of category, and subcat list, new list of subcategory. Here I am concerned about the category list, not the subcategory. LINQ expression, category list, I will select category in db.categories, where db stands for my context, all sample code context. Select category.toList. Here toList will be generated if I press F5 so as to get the values. It has 3 categories in category, and then I will select the selected list item to put it in the form of category name and category ID. Here, this if we want checkbox or whatever, I didn't include it in this project, but you can download the Bootstrap 4 and include view lists which has checkbox control, as I pointed to in the links. We'll see that at the end of the project. By the way, here viewBag.list category includes my list, as we said. This is a list of category, will include category list. This is the list. And viewBag.catList option will include the selected list, which has text and value. Then it will go to the index view, where I have the list that contains selected list of categories, category ID, category name, and it has multiple, to allow multiple selection. I included partial view of combo 1 with the view data obtained from the controller that has the category list. Let us see combo 1, which I included by partial name combo1.cshtml. Combo 1 loops for a viewBag.catList option, which is a selected list that has value and item, to display the free items of category linked by that in the index, which is category ID and category name. If I put instead of string.empty viewBag, it will give an error because it will say not set to an instance of an object. That's why I put partial view with the list. Okay, then here goes to combo 1, partial view, and will display what will display my project. What if I choose here? I will choose category 1 and category 3. If we choose it, because not all points of the debugger works, because if I press F10 it will end, so I am very cautious to press F5. So to trace, when I select the category, it will go to the JavaScript here and make post. One can say that the form contains the SP controller. Yes, it contains, and it should be on submit or to go there, but I didn't make a button for submit first. And if it is that, we can say prevent defaults, or JavaScript in all cases will be executed first. $.post, it will go to controller home with partial result, which is create combo 2, as we can see from the controller now. We'll go and take the strings or the items coming from the list here. As you see, category ID.focus out. Whenever I select and then go to the other control or combo, that means category ID is focused out. It will trigger this event and will have I as DDL source $DL.value, which will be the list I have chosen, as we will see now. Then it will be posted as an array of strings to the controller. Okay. Here let us select category 1 and category 3, and when I focus out to go to the other drop down list, message box of the value selected and then it will go to the post to create combo to partial view result. Here I posted two items, string of 1 and 3, and we'll now use the LINQ expression. I was obliged to make the variable outside to define each one, because I will use them in if else, so they should be defined before the loop. As we see here, I made or the data list of category view and defined by some, although maybe not needed or the data, some variables here will be used. Variable CR parameter equal expression dot parameter type of subcategory CT. Here I CR parameter will get the model. My model will be of subcategory will be represented by CT, and expression dot parameter category ID will retrieve category ID. Then I put null in CT ID close variable expression, and FT or close, this is the or close, will start with CT ID close as a beginning, because I will paste it in a loop. The or every time will concatenate the statement, the or statement, and put the left equal to the right, as we will see in this loop. If items dot count, here items are 2, one contains 1 and the other 3, greater or equal to 1, will go to the second option. First, for each loop, count if plus plus to get count equal 1. If count akbar min 1, no, count is not more than 1, count is 1 now. We'll go to the else, we'll have a value, and here I went to a private static expression giving ct.category ID and constant to compare with, which is 1, to make expression of equal that compares value expression with 1, and it will assign it to 1. Then return. Here it executed the else statement, have constant equal expression dot constant, and the item of 1. Here item first was 1, but it gives a free because I am in the second loop now. Then make the close, which is ctid property equal constant 1. It will make this string or statement and put it, casting it to an or close, because every time, every loop, whatever options I will select in the list will concatenate it with this statement. The LINQ expression here, I have made the file links containing more explanation about the LINQ operation and dynamic link. Here is one of the references about the LINQ and lambda I included in the project. File links, you can, when downloading the project by the end of the video, you will see this file that can help you in building your expressions. There are 3 main statements in the LINQ expression. CR parameter, which will have an instance of a model, of my model, and the property and the value constant, that will form the clause ct.category id.value equal 1. Every time I concatenate this statement or this clause with the or clause, as we see here, I get the second statement, which is free, then concatenate the or clause with it, F5. This is to get the equal, that is the statement compared to the value. Or clause here will contain both comparisons. By the way, I could have used expression dot equal, but it didn't work with me. Constant here gave an error. It was only solved when I made this static expression where I separated the constant to compare and put has a constant to compare and retrieved, as you can see, has value expression, then value expression, then retrieved equal at last. So direct usage of equal may not work. I was obliged to make it that way. Well, I don't know why it doesn't work, although some references use it directly. However, the final or clause here contains comparison between the two statements, or concatenation. I can concatenate whatever clause I want till I get the expression dot lambda to execute this statement and retrieve it as a boolean ft or clause with the cr parameter, which is my model. Here get expression. I would press F5. Expression will be, is that true or false? If this is will the result in whether true or false. Here it is true. Expression to satisfy this condition, it is true. I made a list of subcategory and select from database db.subcategory and filter with expression I obtained from lambda. Then to list, subcat list will retrieve count of 4, 3 for first category and 1 for the third category. This is subcat list. Then I want to change it first to include only the fields I want, and then change it to select list also, because the partial view use select list, not the list. Then return with partial view containing view bag of the list and the selected list. Here subcat list has values of count equal 4, subcat list option and subcat list. One is list and one is select list option. Then I will go to the partial view, combo 2 to view data. Combo 2 partial view. Here it loops through subcat list option to display the value and the text in the selected list. Will be bound with the view in index, which has a subcategory ID ASP4 and ID, and ASP items is the selected list. So here the partial view of combo 2 will be bound and retrieved by the controller to my index view. Return new partial view with view name combo 2 and view data equal view data that is filled from this partial result. Okay. Here the 4 items will be displayed in the drop down list, where I can choose any of them. I made only an alert from the index script found in the index. When I choose subcategory ID to change, it will display the value from subcategory and the value of the category. DDL source stands for category and DDL source 1 stands for subcategory ID concatenated to know that I am going the right way when I want to post these values to method in a controller or action in a controller. Here it says 2, as a subcategory this is number 2, cat 1 and 3, this is category IDs of the first list. Okay, change it to subcategory. Then if I choose click me to get selected categories, also I included it. This is what I select in an alert found in the index. Button dot click will give me the alert. Then I can post or make Ajax to go to action in the controller to use these values or validate for it. What I want to notify about this project, something that when I use string.empty in category ID, I can fill my partial view in this selected list. But if I use viewBag dot selected this list I filled, it will not work properly. Why it will say invalid null instance? Because I couldn't add select on the list. The list doesn't contain select. It should contain, maybe it includes all, but not to select. So that is why I made it empty and prefer to fill the data from partial view. What if I want to put all, to select all? If I want to select all from combo 1 here, I can make as the disabled one in combo 2, put something like that, option value, select all for an example. Here there will be all with the categories 1 and 2 and 3, and make it in the script of a controller that when I choose all, as if I chose the whole categories. Can be handled easily. Other thing I like to say also, this project doesn't use checkboxes in the list. If I go to index here, I use multiple to choose more than one category, okay, but I haven't if I haven't used any checkbox. Also I put custom checkbox, but this is doesn't work. It is worthless. When can I make the checkbox work? If I use Bootstrap 4, there is list view that uses checkboxes. I included it in the links, also in the project below. The links file contains links expression and something about partial view. And here is a checklist I just said about. They say in this site that we can use list control with checklist in ASP.NET Core, but I must use Bootstrap 4. So we can try this second other time, or you can try it to use Bootstrap 4 and see how this will work checklist instead of multi-select with the mouse when pressing Control. Wish this video benefits you, and wish you to subscribe for more videos, because whenever I have an idea I want to share it with you. This encourages me if you subscribe for more videos. Thank you, and by the way, we want to say that the link again is by the end of the video. You can use it, and thank you. Welcome for other videos. See you till then.